Welcome to the Digital Revolution podcast and this bonus content. Sam Altman is an American entrepreneur and investor, best known for his role as the CEO of OpenAI, a leading artificial intelligence research lab. Born on April 22, 1985 in Chicago, Illinois, Altman has been a significant figure in the tech industry, particularly in the field of AI. He was briefly fired and reinstated as CEO of OpenAI in November 2023. Altman is recognized for his early career achievements, including co-founding Looped, a location-based social networking mobile application, at the age of 19. Looped was later acquired by Green Dot Corporation for $43.4 million. Altman's contributions to the startup ecosystem are notable, especially during his time as president of Y Combinator, a renowned startup accelerator, from 2014 to 2019. Altman's work has positioned him as one of the leading figures of the AI boom, and he continues to influence the industry with his vision and leadership. In this bonus audio episode, I've pulled 5 key clips from a recent Sam Altman interview on the Logan Bartlett Show. Additionally, I'll add my perspective related to concepts and information offered during each clip from the interview.
You made an announcement earlier today.
We did.
Multimodal 4.0.
Yeah.
That's the Omega sign, right?
Like Omni.
Yeah, Omni. Okay, sorry. It works across text, voice, vision. Can you speak to why this is important?
Because I think it's like an incredible way to use a computer. We've had like the idea of like voice-controlled computers for a long time. You know, we had Siri and we had things before that. They've never, to me, felt natural to use. And this one, many different reasons, what it can do, the speed, adding in other modalities, the inflection, the naturalness, the fact that you can do things like say, hey, talk faster or talk in this other voice, and that it's the fluidity, the pliability, whatever you want to call it. I just can't believe how much I love using it.
Yeah, Spike Jonze would be proud.
It's
Are there use cases that you've gravitated to?
Well, I've only had it for like a week or something. But one surprising one is putting my phone on the table while I'm like really in the zone of working. And then without having to like change windows or change what I'm doing, using it as like another channel. So I'm like working on something. I would normally like stop what I'm doing, switch to another tab, Google something, click around or whatever. But while I'm like still doing it, to just ask and get like an instant response without changing from what I was looking at on my computer, that's been a surprisingly cool thing.
What actually made this possible? Was it an architectural shift or more compute?
I mean, it was like all of the things that we've learned over the last several years. We've been working on audio models. We've been working on visual models. We've been working on tying them together. We've been working on more efficient ways to train our models. It's not like, okay, we unlocked this one crazy new thing all at once, but it was putting a lot of pieces together.
Do you think you need to develop like an on-device model to decrease latency to the point for usability?
For video, maybe it would be hard to deal with network latency at some point. Like a thing that I've always thought would be super amazing is to put on someday a pair of AR goggles or whatever and just like speak the world in real time and watch things change. And that might get harder over network latency. But for this, 200 or 300 milliseconds of latency feels feels faster than a human responding to me in many cases.
Is video, in this case, images?
Oh, sorry. I meant video if you wanted like generated video, not input video.
Got it. So currently it's working with actual video as is.
Well, like frame by frame of the
frame by frame. So it's okay. Got it. You alluded recently to ChatGPT maybe not being the next big launch, not being GPT-5. It feels like there's been sort of an iterative approach to model development that you guys have taken. Is it fair to say that's how we should think about it going forward, that it's not going to be some big launch, here's ChatGPT-5, but instead?
We honestly don't know yet. I think that Definitely one thing I've learned is that AI and surprise do not go well together. And although, the traditional way a tech company launches products, we should probably do something different. Now, we could still call it GPT-5 and launch it in a different way, or we could call it something different. But I don't think we figured out how to do the naming or branding for these things yet. Like, it made sense to me from like GPT-1 to GPT-4 at the launch. Now, obviously, GPT-4 has continued to get much better. We also have this idea that there's going to be like, maybe there's like one underlying kind of like virtual brain, and it can like think harder in some cases than others, or maybe it's different models, but maybe these doesn't care if they're different or not. So I don't think we know the answer to how we're going to like product market all of this yet.
Many AI industry experts consider GPT-4o to be revolutionary because it represents a significant leap in AI capabilities, particularly in its ability to process and generate multimodal inputs and outputs. Here's why it's revolutionary. Multimodal interaction, GPT-4o, can handle a combination of text, audio, and image inputs and generate corresponding outputs. This allows for much more natural human-to-computer interactions. Next is real-time processing. It can respond to audio inputs in as little as 232 milliseconds, which is comparable to human response times in conversation. Third is improved performance. GPT-4o matches the performance of its predecessor on text in English and code, with significant improvements in non-English languages, vision, and audio understanding. Not last but important to businesses and user is its cost efficiency. It is also faster and 50% less expensive to use in the API compared to previous GPT models. Now, here are some use cases that might benefit from incorporating GPT-4o. Customer service, enhance customer support interactions by integrating diverse data inputs for a more dynamic and comprehensive experience. Education, real-time translation and language learning, as well as interactive educational tools like math tutoring with visual and audio components. Accessibility, assisting visually impaired individuals by describing images or translating sign language into text. Entertainment, creating music or art by combining audio and visual inputs or generating interactive storytelling experiences. Healthcare, analyzing medical images and patient data to assist in diagnosis and treatment planning. Business analytics, processing and analyzing different types of data to provide insights and forecasts. These are just a few examples, and as the technology matures, more innovative applications are likely to emerge. GPT-4o's versatility makes it a powerful tool for a wide range of industries looking to harness the power of AI.
I've heard you say that ChatGPT didn't actually change the world in and of itself, but maybe just changed people's expectations for the world.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you can find much evidence in the economic measurement of your choice that ChatGPT really inflected productivity or whatever.
Maybe customer support.
Maybe some areas.
Summarization.
But like, if you look at like global GDP, can you detect when ChatGPT launched? Probably not.
Is there a point that you think we'll be able to determine a GDP inflection?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll ever be able to say like this was the one model that did it, but I think if we look at the graph a couple of decades in the future, we'll be like, something changed.
Yeah. Are there applications or areas that you think are most promising in the next 12 months?
I'm sure I'm biased just because of what we do here, but coding, I think, is a really big one.
Kind of related to the bitter lesson. You spent some time recently talking about the difference between deeply specialized models trained on specific data for specific purposes versus generalized models that are capable of true reasoning.
I would bet that it's the generalized model that's going to matter.
And what is the most important thing there as you think about like someone that's focused singularly on a data set and all the integrations associated with something very narrow?
If the model can do generalized reasoning, if it can like figure out new things, then if it needs to figure out how to work with a new kind of data, you can feed it in and it can do it. But it doesn't go the other way around. Like a bunch of specialized models that I don't think a bunch of specialized models put together can't figure out the generalized reasoning.
So the implications for that of coding specific models probably would be?
I think a better way of saying this is I think the most important thing to figure out is the true reasoning capability. And then we can use it for all sorts of things.
The expectations of GPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, has evolved significantly since the first model inception. Here's a brief overview of how these expectations have shifted over time. GPT-1, introduced in 2018, showcased the potential of unsupervised learning for language understanding. Expectations were centered around basic text generation and next word prediction. GPT-2 rolled out in 2019 with its ability to produce coherent, multi-paragraph content. Expectations rose to include more sophisticated text generation. However, concerns about misuse led to a cautious release. GPT-3 debut in 2020 marked a monumental leap in text generation capabilities, finding applications in various fields like email drafting, article writing, and even code generation. Expectations expanded to include answering factual queries and language translation. Post-GPT-3 found models becoming more advanced. Expectations shifted towards more nuanced and contextually aware interactions. The focus was on reducing biases, improving safety, and enhancing performance across languages. Currently, GPT-4 and beyond provided the introduction of multimodal capabilities, where models can process and generate text, audio, and images, has led to expectations of AI being an integral part of daily life, assisting in tasks ranging from education to healthcare. Throughout this evolution, the underlying expectation has been that each new iteration of GPT would be more powerful, accurate, and versatile than the last. As AI research continues, expectations are likely to keep advancing, pushing the boundaries of what these models can achieve.
What do you think the principal means of communication between humans and AI is in 2 years?
Natural language seems pretty good. I'm interested in this general idea that we should design a future that humans and AIs can sort of use together, use in the same way. So I'm like more excited about humanoid robots than I am for other forms of robots, because I think the world is like very much now designed for humans, and I don't want that to get reconfigured for some more efficient kind of thing. I like the idea that that we talk to AI in language that is like very well human optimized, and that they even like talk to each other that way. Maybe, I don't know. But I think this is generally an interesting direction to push.
The future communication between artificial intelligence and humans is expected to be more integrated, intuitive, and interactive. Here are some insights provided by AI experts suggest it might look like. Seamless integration. AI will likely be woven seamlessly into our daily lives, providing assistance and enhancing experiences without being obtrusive. Natural interactions. Communication with AI will become more natural, with AI understanding and responding to human emotions, gestures, and nonverbal cues. Personalized experiences. AI will offer highly personalized interactions based on individual preferences, learning from past interactions to improve future communications. Multimodal communication. AI will engage with us through multiple modes, including text, voice, images, and possibly even tactile feedback. Language and translation. AI will break down language barriers, offering real-time translation and enabling fluid communication across different language. Ethical and empathetic AI. There will be a focus on developing ethical AI that respects privacy and exhibits empathy, making interactions more human-like. Mind data transfer. Advanced technologies may enable direct communication between AI and the human brain, bypassing traditional input methods. Overall, AI is poised to become a more dynamic, interactive acquaintance, potentially even filling the role of a companion, available 24/7, 365 days. As AI continues to evolve, it will likely transform the way we work, create, and communicate, expanding our creative potential and eliminating monotonous tasks. However, it's important to approach these advancements with consideration for their societal implications and the need for human oversight.
There's been press reports related to looking to raise major amounts of money. Wall Street Journal, I think, was a credible one to galvanize investment in fabs. Semi-industry, TSMC and NVIDIA have been ramping pretty aggressively to meet expectations of the need for AI infrastructure. You recently said that you think the world needs more AI infrastructure, and then you said a lot more AI infrastructure.
I do think
is there something you're seeing on the demand side that would require way more AI infrastructure than what we're currently getting out of TSMC and NVIDIA?
So first of all, I'm confident that we will figure out how to bring costs to deliver current systems way, way down. I'm also confident that as we do that, demand will increase by a huge amount. And third, I'm confident that by building bigger and better systems, there will be even more demand. We should all hope for a world where intelligence is too cheap to meter. It's just wildly abundant. People use it for all sorts of things. And you don't even think about whether do I want this? Do I want this like reading all my emails and responding to them for me? Or do I want this like curing cancer? Of course you pick curing cancer. But the answer is like, you'd love for it to do both things. And I just want to make sure we have enough for everybody to have that.
I don't need you to comment on your own personal efforts here, although, again, if you want to, please let me know. But Humane and Limitless and some of these like different physical device assistants, what do you think those have gotten wrong? Or where do you think the adoption maybe hasn't met user desires just yet?
I think it's just early. I have been an early adopter of many types of computing. I had and very much loved the compact TC1000. Like when I was a freshman in college, I thought it was just like so cool. And like that was a long way from the iPad, long way from the iPad, but it was directionally right. Then I got a Trio. I was very not cool college kid. I had like a old Palm Trio, and when it was like that was not a thing that kids had, and that was a long way from the iPhone. But we got there eventually, and these things feel like a very promising direction that's going to take some iteration.
Artificial intelligence infrastructure, also known as an AI stack, is crucial for creating and deploying AI-powered applications and solutions. The requirements for a robust AI infrastructure include computing performance. High-performance computing resources such as CPUs and GPUs are essential. GPUs in particular are preferred for their ability to handle the vast calculations required by machine learning algorithms. Data handling. AI systems need to manage large volumes of data. This includes storage solutions that can handle the ingestion, processing, and analysis of big data. Networking. Fast and reliable networking is necessary to support the data transfer rates required by AI applications, especially when working with cloud-based services. Cloud environment. Cloud services provide the flexibility and scalability needed for AI workloads. Hybrid cloud environments are often used to balance cost and performance needs. AI software stack. This includes machine learning frameworks, libraries, and tools that are essential for developing AI models. Infrastructure as a service, which allows businesses to develop and implement AI without compromising on performance, offering a flexible and cost-effective solution. These components work together to support the development and deployment of AI applications, from chatbots to advanced analytics and beyond. As AI technology advances, the infrastructure will continue to evolve to meet the growing demands of AI systems.
Is there a decision that you've made over the course of OpenAI that felt the most important at the time of making it? And how did you go about making it?
It'd be hard to point to just a single one, but the decision that we're going to do what we call iterative deployment, that we're not going to go build AGI in secret and then put it out into the world at once, which was the prevailing wisdom in the Eliezer plan and others. I think that was like a quite important decision we made, and it felt like a really important one at the time.
If another company that
betting on language models was an important decision and felt like an important one at the time.
I actually don't know the story of betting on language models. How did that come to be originally?
Well, we had these other projects. We were doing the robot thing and video games, and there was a very small effort. It started with one person looking at language modeling, and Ilya really believed in it. Really believed in like the general direction that became language models, let's say. And we did GPT-1, we did GPT-2, we started to study scaling laws, scaled up GPT-3, and then we made a big bet this was what we were going to do. And all of these things look so obvious in retrospect. They really don't feel that way at the time.
Let me close out this bonus content by saying that each and every interview with Sam Altman is very enlightening and informative towards fully understanding what motivates Sam and potentially where OpenAI might be heading. Okay, if you found this informative, please rate this episode and write a review. Also, please share it with colleagues and contacts that you feel would benefit from listening to this interview. If you could be so kind, if you're currently not, to follow or subscribe to the Digital Revolution podcast. Have a great day, evening, or morning, no matter where you are listening in the world.